Yeah, we can just split the Hunter the Parenting into 2 parts.
Yeah.
You'll just need to edit the last part. Or, just edit them together, actually. Just edit them together.
I think what I'll do is I'll just put them out as 2 different videos, because I've already got it set as 2 different videos. By the way, hello, everybody. Welcome back. My computer blue-screened at the...
Yep, his computer's
unfortunate...
suffering from the same
yeah.
fate mine did, a few
Potentially,
months
yes.
back.
I'm gonna wind up... I'm probably gonna wind up having to take my tower out and, like, spray it out with a compressor or something.
Yep, hopefully it doesn't happen the rest of the night, but we'll see. We are going to watch the rest of this, hopefully, without any issues. Alright. I did restart the video as well, just, you know.
Yeah, my computer started stuttering for some reason when we... Yeah, and here's the recap. And when we got past this last time, it was so... I don't know if that came through, because I'm not entirely sure when the stream stopped, you know?
But yeah, we're back in business now. Let's enjoy this bonus episode.
This is horrible.
Oh, dude. It's the old guy in the picture.
Yeah,
That's
I mentioned
cruel.
that earlier.
That's cruel to show.
We have underestimated our quarry.
Underestimated does not begin to describe it. This failure beats out that diablerie incident by the margin of a lifetime.
Marcus.
This is the biggest blunder of your
Marcus
career.
is right.
That I know
Yeah.
of, please.
Be silent. I am trying to solve a murder.
Not so loud.
I declare Hunter Huddle.
How dare you?
Hunter Huddle.
Sir, you know the rules.
Fine. Hunter Huddle initiated. You want to strategize, huh? A reconnaissance? Ice pack? It is too late for ice packs, Marcus. A man is dead.
Dad, stop obliviating and answer me. What did this? How did this even happen? Fatigue looks like he exploded. That's not in the ghoul playbook. What the hell is going on?
I don't quite know.
Yes, you do. Of course you do.
No, I don't.
You always do. And you always hide it.
Stop it, Marcus.
No.
I'm gonna be on Big D's side, because usually when he doesn't want to answer a question, he'll make like some kind of bullshit excuse or like some random quote. If he says he doesn't know, I would believe him. Because it would be very out of character of a Rise, right? It would be...
Yeah.
Now's not the time. We are talking about this now because murder.
Might I interject?
Oh.
Dr. Waters.
Where'd you come from?
You are a doctor. You suddenly operate upon a sacred Hunter Huddle.
Forgive the lack of decorum, but your loud, boisterous voice is relatively hard to ignore. All that screaming at a crime scene makes me want to scalp you. With my
Yes.
Oh my god, my nose is bleeding.
It's quite powerful. The Hunter Huddle may need improvement.
So, how much did you hear?
Enough to guess the obvious, that we may not be dealing with a ghoul at all.
Really now?
Do not put your words in my mouth!
Oh, the words are all yours. After all, I'm citing them from your scholarship.
Oh shit.
Preposterous! You read my work?
With all its side tangents about dog cancer and orangutans.
Ah!
What a twist! Surprised you had time to read between your benders.
You live in a glass house, D. Shouldn't you be thanking me for keeping your work alive?
Damn it, you're basically Occam's second. If you're both willing to use our work, how the hell did Remold manage to censor it?
Nepotism, seniority, the fact that he's from London and we're a backwater. But there's a time and place for that conversation. Ankle deep in my colleague's guts isn't it.
On that subject, I'm sorry we couldn't save Fatigue.
As am I. This is an unfathomable loss. Lord Fatigue was among the greatest hunters I've ever met. But know that I will respect his legacy by doing my job. And I wish for you to say your piece now, or tend to his great vessel, and leave us to our work.
My piece? It's simple. Our isn't a culprit ghoul. I mean, our culprit isn't a ghoul, probably.
I was about to say.
Textbook. Blank body work.
Hello, Master Yoda.
A vampire? Is that possible?
Full on
It
vampire.
may be.
Bloody hell.
Simon's current state speaks to it, and, of course, the savage state of Fatigue.
A matter like this would have demanded particular mastery of physical disciplines.
So tell us about them. In detail.
Sir...
Father, we need the specifics. Whether this is a vampire, or a ghoul, or the amazing balloon boy, the
Balloon boy!
filtered details cannot be fucking arbitrarily kept sequestered. Whatever reason you have had to keep things obscured, perhaps are now overshadowed by the death of our old friend?
Yep.
Why the actual fuck are you not answering?
This writing's so fucking good.
Oh, goodness gracious.
What do you mean, goodness gracious?
Picked a right time to shut up, didn't you, Dee? Well, if he won't talk, I certainly will.
You!
Oh my god, finally someone sensible. Please, Doctor, just get it all out there.
My notes on disciplines are for the Chancellor's eyes only!
I guess we both break rules.
Oh!
It is very punk rock. I still hate it.
Given your paper's best
Still
by date, I
really
decided to
good.
indulge. Before I burned it all.
What?
Orders are orders. Someone had to purge the D-works littering our library.
Kevin says he was playing
Frankly,
Final Fantasy 13 on
useful as
PC
they
today
were.
and DM'd me some notes about his playthrough. Okay, I'll have to check that out later.
I regret we didn't do it sooner. The reason why there's an infiltrator in the first place is likely due to your careless scholarship.
Are you casting your blame onto us?
Yes. But again, ankle deep in gore. We have to deal with the consequences together. And if you won't democratize your work, I will.
So it seems. Very well. But be cautious, for some knowledge is best.
Right, vampire magics. We've already heard him rave about them briefly.
Without much meat.
There were 3 that were relevant, weren't there? Perhaps even 4. Let me jog my memory.
How do you
by
feel
going
about Sue
down
and Johnny
the
Storm
list.
being made lamer in the upcoming
Potence.
Fantastic Four? Well, you
That
know.
was first on your list, wasn't it,
Unfortunately, not
Dee?
to be
I
unexpected.
don't remember. I wrote it out years ago.
Sounds straightforward.
Without any commas, it certainly was.
Juggling dumpsters, isn't it?
Or ripping someone apart with your bare hands. Now, worth noting, each unique vampiric power can, as far as we know, be learned by any given vampire.
But
That checks out.
important. You almost missed this. Each unique discipline comes naturally to different
yeah.
vampire types. Those
So
not
some
of
are,
that type must learn how to use them.
Yeah, some are easier to learn for for
Potence is
vampires than
something
others.
Our
Yes.
human-animal vampire had naturally, I assume. Able to launch a fully grown adult like a football as part of the ape vampire learning curve?
Incorrect.
See, that's what I wait, what?
Humanimal type vampires don't boast potence as an innate skill. Rather, They rely on the supernatural powers of protean. Instead of raw strength, animalistic fury comes to them more naturally. Serrated claws
And Kevin
that can
says the
hiss
upcoming
through
Jurassic
flesh
World
like a
sequel is the
knife.
only thing worth giving a damn despite its weirdness.
That
Potentially, yes.
new Jurassic World's going to be awesome.
Now, I will say, Disney has made a big bluster about stuff like that before. Remember how they said about, Rogue One was going to have, like, a commentary on Donald Trump? And then it didn't? And I don't know if that was something they cut or if it was just never in the film, excuse me, to begin with.
Probably cut, knowing them.
I don't know.
We'll never know. All right, let's continue, Alex.
Butter.
Yep.
Those are the humanimal's preferred weapon.
Then, how the hell was he so strong, Sir D? Ape Boy, I mean.
As Dr. Waters said, just because Potence is an innate to a vampire type doesn't mean they can't gain its knowledge. It's simply more difficult. Ape Boy had the means to gain such power.
I'm sorry, but I don't know who any of these people are, and if I have to hear more fake carnival names, I might just vomit. Can we refocus?
Right, of course. Perhaps you could share your own knowledge on the subject, Doctor.
For one, I know even a novice user hits about as hard as a sledgehammer. Vile bodily trauma of varying degrees. They can also potentially leap into the air, yes? Quite high. Scaling
Yeah, what did that
buildings
say? Let me go back for a second.
Yes.
Worry over this sounding a bit too ballin'.
Quite high, too. Scaling buildings with a single jump, that sort of thing.
I can confirm seeing something
So
similar.
Kryptonians are vampires. Got it.
Horrifying.
Yes.
Sadly, a bit ballin'.
Marcus!
Ah.
So, sledgehammer strength, double jumping, etc. That's novice level stuff?
Yes.
Yep.
But these abilities become more potent the more potent the blood of a vampire. Potence that the vast majority of ghouls simply aren't capable of achieving with regards to, potence.
What? Stop saying potence. Novice level powers are available to them, though. A ghoul could commit extensive harm and jump like the world's their bloody trampoline.
But not to the extent where they could commit this kind of harm. Yeah?
The likelihood is far
I mean, a regular
lesser.
human being could commit
you
this kind of
know.
harm with a
Well, in either case.
large enough hammer, or possibly.
Yeah, but like over time, you can't do it as fast as it did here.
Yeah, you can. You just gotta believe hard enough.
I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear that.
Other skills
You just
Potence
gotta
magicians
believe.
purportedly have available to them are to create ripples in concrete and stone floors as they strike the earth, making otherwise placid people go break shit berserk, make any part of their body as capable of violence as their fist, to make the sound of their finger snaps hit with the force of a bullet train.
Damn.
Indeed. Potence is mighty and formidable. I once beheld an elder vampire halt the flow of a raging river with strength and strength alone. It is not to be underestimated.
Of course, most blanks are unlikely to have
Well,
astounding.
we know what Mecha Series Benjamin would despise. Rao Rao fight the power. Have you seen Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann?
Of course not. I know, I'm sorry, I failed you.
Reserved for the upper crust by my reckoning.
Failed this city.
Still, that is an extremely worrying portent. What with Fatigue's state.
Great! So I'm satisfied we've covered the hallowed art of dead things hitting other things very hard. Nevertheless, there's more. Dominate. Mesmerism. Mentis imperium. Power over the mind.
Oh, I mentioned this
Yep.
one, Alex.
Mind control, essentially.
A scholar of the minds.
He has failed to serve the city in
This is among the vilest
Kevin's the only one.
wherewithals
You
leeches
haven't
can
watched
afford with their
Arrow, have
betae.
you?
Wait, one more time?
You haven't watched Arrow, have you?
No, not at all.
So yeah, so you don't get the "you have failed this city" line.
Yeah.
No creature should be able to infringe so forcibly on
I wonder if this spell will have any kind of play as we go on.
Will of others.
Yeah, who knows? Someone could use it to actually get info out of you.
Many have tried. Most have detonated.
Most?
Your bickering aside, dominate is one of the blank body's parapsychological abilities.
What now?
Mental influence. Where its sister discipline, presence, is more akin to an unnatural charisma, dominate users simply hijack their victim's psyche through sheer willpower. Those targeted are issued simple commands that are performed automatically, as if possessed.
Like if you want someone to stop approaching, you say, not a step closer.
Quite. However, while some blanks can puppeteer entire crowds, or bury their suggestions so deep it erases a host's personality,
Oh, fuck.
that kind of power is more common in the upper echelons of their society. A lower level blank would be more limited to temporary commands targeting single individuals.
Ah. So when more than one person is dominated, that's an advanced technique, yeah?
That's what I said, no. In general, disciplines begin with a very limited
Doing my
scope.
best impression
It's
of
only with
Solid
experience-
Snake.
Does that have
Yes,
to do
that
with
is what you
watching?
said.
that a blank's abilities become more than low-grade parlor tricks.
Like
Low-grade
taking the
parlor
blinders off of the
tricks.
horse. It only unleashes their true potential for harm.
What the fuck does that even mean?
So blinders on a horse are used to keep them looking forward and not distracted by things that are off to the side, because horses are skittish creatures that freak out quite easily and get distracted quite easily, so you put blinders on them to keep them looking ahead. Not really something that I'd say is largely destructive, but you know.
I should ask why you know this, but I know where you live, and it makes sense why you would know.
Where I live has nothing to do with blinders on a horse. I just know this
No,
because
I know there are horses in your area or state.
well, yeah, there's horses around here. It's it's just, that has nothing
And
to do with why.
kangaroos.
Yeah.
Don't forget about the
Oh yeah,
kangaroos.
there's also you know those lizards that some people keep as pets that are like around the size of your hand?
Yeah?
Somebody has released several of those and they've been breeding. We found one of them in my house sitting like it must have like come in while we had the door open while we were like bringing groceries or something like that. And it's like stayed the night, and my mom found it, and it was just sitting on the couch watching a blank TV screen with intent.
That's awesome.
And when my dad picked it up, it just looked at him like, well, you got me, what are you gonna do with me? And he took it outside and it scampered away. And there's I've seen a few of them around the neighborhood now. They look kind of like baby crocodiles, but they have no teeth.
That feels like that's gotta hurt the ecosystem in the area. Has anyone called the local government about that?
I mean, I've already told the one animal control guy, and I don't have a feeling that he's not going to be able to handle it.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's the right person to tell. Oh, yes, animal control guy, we got an invasive species that has now invaded our area.
He's one guy, and there's like hundreds of these giant skinks hanging around.
Oh, hundreds?
I'm estimating.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious. First kangaroos and now this.
Yeah, what Benjamin doesn't know is that if you sing the Spider-Man Rain spoof of the 60s theme, he'll suffocate you with his webs. He's always around whenever you try to sing it. Giant skanks? No, skinks. They're skinks or geckos. There's a big fucking lizard. Looks kind of like a green anole. You know green anoles? Those little green lizards that scamper around and eat bugs? It's like that, except that it's bigger and it has... I was making a joke. Yeah, that... yeah. Anyways, yeah, so they have, like, stripes.
Okay, but Alex...
Yeah?
Tell the audience about the kangaroos.
Oh, yeah, no, so there was a petting zoo around here, and after one of the hurricanes, the kangaroos that were in the petting zoo got loose, and they went into the woods and started breeding, and now we just have random kangaroo sightings around town.
I only mention it because it's kind of fitting for the series that we're watching, and it's also really fucking funny. All right, let's continue. We got sidetracked, Alex. Let's keep going.
Yes.
Like a real horse.
Sure. One could imagine the ability to engage multiple at once to be the ultimate state of dominate, freed of any limitation in that field.
So, hypothetically, if one were to control a group of 5...
Then you'd be facing a creature of immense skill as far as domination.
So perhaps the person who owned that Walmart that we went to earlier.
Oh, you're talking about the dollar store.
Yeah, that. It looked...
Yeah.
For a 99p store, it looked kind of big, but yeah.
Yeah, it looked like a Walmart.
Yeah.
Great and
How many 99p items can exist?
mighty indeed.
It is a dangerous
Well, it
and
used to exist.
insidious sphere
There
of
used to
power.
be more to exist. Now there's less. Everything's $1.25 at least. I imagine a bunch of randos would film this and post it on Pornhub, the kangaroo stuff. Why would they post it? You know, Pornhub doesn't allow safe for work content anymore, so they'd probably get deleted.
Are they banned in your state, Alex? I think they're
Yes.
banned in my state.
Yes, they are.
Nice. I'm joking. Technically not banned. They just won't implement the ID thing, which is another story.
They
Let's
have not
continue.
figured out. They've not figured out that VPNs exist.
Beasts as a whole. What they can force you to do at the higher levels of mastery is nightmarish.
But being able to circumvent the spell when it's cast is still a point of advantage.
Indeed. The strength of one's will is something the vampiric curse tarnishes, rather than empowers. To that end, the canny hunter can potentially thwart their devilish commandments, if properly prepared.
The issue comes, of course, with the element of surprise. For instance, if I were a powerful blank and I told you, hey, Marcus, kill yourself.
What the fuck?
No.
Yes, you wouldn't. But if I were a blank body and you weren't expecting...
Nah, still wouldn't.
No. No, what I'm telling you is you would. Because you wouldn't have your mental defenses prepared.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just built differently.
That's my boy!
That's my boy!
I'd
that is
probably off
why
myself if
you
were
would
an
not
elder
be able
vampire.
to.
One more time?
And that is why she would not be able to.
Yeah.
If that helps?
Yes, heartwarming, kid. The point is, a ghoul can probably only charm one person. But if it's a full-on blank, any one of us could have sleeper suggestions buried in our psyche and not know it.
Except for me.
No!
And Big D neither!
We are done
Wait,
wasting my
I see
time.
Doctor's bag to
And
the abdomen
Big D
injury.
neither!
Doctor's bag to abdomen injury.
We are done wasting my time. Why don't we move on to the next subject you'll all ruin?
Are we really that bad?
Yes.
Ah.
Then obfuscate.
All right.
Yeah, obfuscate is the invisibility one, if I remember correctly. Yep.
We've seen that ourselves. Not seen, I guess.
To that end, any additional insight?
Staff pick toilet.
Like most things in this great world of ours, it's more complicated than just a layman's understanding of invisibility. Obfuscate as a discipline encompasses a rather varied arsenal. The gist is in the name. Obfuscation. Tricking the mind into perceiving something incorrectly.
Which, naturally, makes this another parapsychological phenomena.
Wait.
I don't like that image.
Wait, hold on.
If I must.
When we had that sludge lad captured, he turned invisible and I couldn't even detect him on security cams. How the hell is that parapsychology?
That, my very brash former colleague, is what you might expect of an advanced obfuscate user. It takes time and effort for a blank to develop their talents to such an extent that they disappear on film. Believe it or not, I've actually submitted a treatise to London on the subject. We don't have time for all of it. So just take my word. It's not the picture that's grainy. It's your perception.
Ugh.
That's actually kind of impressive.
Impressive, yes, but no less dangerous than unnatural strength or laser heat vision.
Sadi, do vampires have laser heat vision?
Only if they're sufficiently fascinated by the Carpathian mountain range.
What does that mean?
That is a very good question. Carpathian Mountain.
What?
Is that a Ghostbusters reference?
Is it?
Carpathia, Vigo the Carpathian?
Maybe it is a Ghostbusters reference, but I
Hmm.
wouldn't be able to say for sure. Let me know when to keep going.
Yeah.
All right.
Writing that down.
It's
Writing
always
that
made
down.
voice John Cena gaff a bit funnier.
Jonathan Senastity's ability to vanish aside.
Jonathan
Cena
City.
City.
I need to rewind that.
Voice John Cena gaff a bit funnier.
Jonathan Senastity's ability to vanish aside, turning invisible, is only
John Cena canon in this universe. Fuck
one of
yes.
the many things this discipline is capable
You know, I just realized that's probably his real name in universe.
Yeah, probably.
of. Sludge
Wrestlers
lads the
are
world over use it
supernatural
only to
creatures
vanish.
in World of Darkness.
Yeah. And the wrestlers are all supernatural, if I remember what you told me.
That's what I just said.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
To
stupid.
impose a false self over their twisted visage. Likewise, appearance is not the only thing that can be cloaked. Sounds can be silenced, conversations coded from outside contemplation. There's even a canny clan of daredevils that specialize in creating illusions.
Speaking of Daredevil,
Are they
Elektra.
blind? Are
I
they
was going to say,
blind?
that looks a lot like Elektra to me.
And another that spiced this power with dominate, to obfuscate reality itself from a victim's mind.
Goodness gracious.
You know, Dee, when it's my area of expertise and you do most of the talking.
This is all my expertise, good doctor. Remember whose work you're quoting.
True, but when I choose to forget that, who will become the primary source then?
Low and cruel.
Damn.
That's my specialty.
Ah.
Now then, I should at least pay lip service to the limits of a novice user. If your source was right, Dee, and this
I wasn't.
right. If this sorcerer's
Yeah, that was bad to say.
Its specialty isn't likely to be obfuscation. So they'd probably be a novice user in either case. And that means they most likely can only be invisible while staying completely still.
Right. The chasm between beginning and advanced with this stuff is indeed wide as hell.
Like I said, parlor tricks.
Be that as it may, they're still deadly. Even if they're a novice at every discipline we've gone over, that's still someone who can turn invisible, hit like a sledgehammer, and make you forget you ever saw them.
Unfortunately, the worst is yet to come. For if this is indeed a vampire wizard or one of their ghouls, knowledge of this last discipline is all but guaranteed. One of the most potent and potentially dangerous powers at a blank body's disposal. Blood sorcery. Or thaumaturgy, as you seem to enjoy calling it.
It is not magic. It is a sham, a pile of slime wearing the noble coat of sorcery. Just two rapscallions on each other's shoulders, trying to get into a theater where they're screening Whistling in the Dark. A movie I don't even particularly like. Thaumaturgy is the end result of a group of half-cocked brigands realizing they were past their prime and willing to steal anything for a second chance at life. Yea, it is powerful, my son. Deadly, sadistic, at times even marvelous. Yet it is like the vampire itself, a shallow imitation of grander things. A treasure fit for thieves and worms.
I get what you're putting down. So, blood sorcery is just... what? Special vampire sorcery? Kinda like how Arkham uses special Celtic sorcery?
A bit of A, a bit of B. The scholastic consensus is that blood sorcery has its origins in sorcerer's techniques, most of them ancient and lost to our records. Of course, that's just its most orthodox path. Since its beginnings, many former sorcerers and magi have since added their knowledge to blank body methods.
But what are these blank body methods? I assume the use of vitae?
Yes, actually, vitae. Vampiric essence. Arcanum scholars better versed in the topic believe that it can help stretch the traditionally strict and linear rules of sorcery.
Hey, wait. I've heard the term vitae used like, you know, it's important and means something. Care to elaborate? Is it the source of a vamp's power?
Indeed.
Right. And hey, how did you know that, love?
Oh, well...
He overheard me mention it to a peer. I told him the slightest gist, and I suppose he extrapolated the rest, as you've done just now.
Right. That's how I know.
Just my luck. Oh,
Good dodge.
dumps.
Well, at least you've got this one.
Yeah.
So, in what ways is thaumaturgy so versatile? What can it do?
What can't it do? Well, nothing without at least a slightly sanguine twist. Thaumaturges are most famous for their ability to manipulate blood. But this is only one of many paths. They might extract it from a range, gain unnatural insights from its sampling, utilize it as a weapon, or, in one of their most feared techniques, completely exsanguinate a victim in a violent, steaming, white-hot cauldron of blood.
Damn.
That doesn't sound like a pleasant way to go.
Believe me, it isn't. But it's not the only thing blood sorcery can manipulate. Some walk the path of the Leavenbolt and might weave one's bioelectricity into vicious lightning.
Oh shit.
Others
So,
walk a greener path,
Emperor Palpatine.
I was thinking Avatar. You know, with the firebenders.
You could do either one, really.
Yeah.
vitae-tainted flora in obsequious obeyance to their whim. There are also various dark rites and rituals a thaumaturge might gain access to. Enchanted mirrors, hexes, curses, and more. The list is too numerous to count. And that's not even mentioning the sorcerous paths that were walked by the dead long before the vampire wizards. Ancient elemental techniques of the Caucasus.
The video's almost over and the same four characters are just standing around talking in the same room. Yes, this is what we call role-playing.
Of curses known only to a merciless order of judges. The blighted demonology of an infernal bloodline known as...
Fuck, and this is all one discipline?
Be swayed not by its power, Marcus! This variance exists only in emulation of greater powers, forever beyond their grasp. A fact that vexes those warlocks, so haggard, aged, and proud, ever on through their days of restless slumber.
I mean, okay if you say so, I guess. But I'm feeling it in my bones. We might be getting somewhere with this. More details, Father, more. Come on, don't stop now.
No!
No?
No more! This is useless to dwell on. Thaumaturgy is too vast to be useful. Query me no longer.
Oh, bloody hell. You're getting closed-lipped about this stuff again?
For good reason.
Far more than I intended to.
Oh, great. Just great. So I can only learn about the secret, scary world of the supernatural when someone bites it big time, huh?
Hey! My son! My secrecy is protection!
And how does keeping this from us protect anyone, exactly? How did it protect Fatigue?
Oh, Kevin, not everything that happens in tabletop gaming is action. It's mostly... There's a bunch of stuff like this, where the characters go around looking for clues. Spend entire 6-hour sessions just on looking for fucking clues.
Or you visit the king to talk to him, and one of your team members decides to just flat out murder the king when you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
The
That's
lesson
happened a
here is
few
don't
times.
trust me in D&D.
Considering I'm going to be our dungeon master eventually, noted.
Hold on, need to, dip from the family drama. They've finished hosing spit off. I'm going to go and check on him.
There she goes.
Father, if it's as you say, and just knowing this information is tantamount to breaking some sort of human-vampire kayfabe, but you know all of this and won't tell us, how is that optimal? How are we supposed to survive when things get like this?
Marcus!
Sorry, love, but I will be heard out on this. We're here as your family because we want to understand and fight these murderous monsters.
Not just that, son. The boundaries are set for a reason, so we do not unnecessarily endanger ourselves. A dead hunter is useless to all, except as a warning, writ in blood.
Who are the rules set by? You?
Yes! And I would have you abide by them as your father! I am stronger than you, smarter than you, a superior hunter! I am your better, and you steady!
Damn, I've never seen Kitten that mad before.
No, that was too far. Marcus, I am not...
No, Father. That was probably the most honest thing you've said to me in years. And you know what? You're right.
Marcus...
We're just going to call it settled, all right? You've kept this from us for our so-called protection. And until recently, I wouldn't have accepted that excuse.
What do you mean?
Someone gave me some very important insight on trying to work on things like this. So I'm going to take it to heart instead of digging further.
Are you certain, son?
Hey, don't get me wrong in the slightest, Dad. We're still going to talk about this. But right now, not at all.
We're discussing it later, then.
Absolutely. But until then, we've got a murderer loose in the chapter house with us, and we can't just bicker like this. There's already too much bickering.
He is right. We still lost.
Were you aware that Scott Frericks had wanted to keep David
I'm
Piccolo as a fan cast? No,
go
I did
refocus,
not,
Dad.
but that's cool.
Some good fucking drama.
Yeah.
And that leads us to the big chapter 5, Alex.
The one that just came out, huh?
No, that's the one after.
Bill,
okay.
or anyone who is listening to this, or me.
What?
Did someone join our call? I
No.
can't see the...
No, go back.
Okay.
Go back. There was a... Go back.
Or says, I'm not removing little.
Oh, you're right.
Closer.
Okay.
There we go.
I thought that was you. I'm gonna be honest. I thought that voice was you.
What? He'd have been too expensive
I don't know
even
why.
for a line read on an anime dub, let alone attempt to get
I
him.
don't
Yeah.
like bullies. Have this.
Like if you want someone to stop approaching, you say, not a step closer. Like if you want someone to stop approaching, you'll say, not a step closer. I have stolen your damsel and tied him to this ring.
Papyrus?
In Norfolk. Oh no, he's gonna get run over by the children's railway.
Say the papyrus or skeleton.
Tiny little fucking
Yes.
train that's that Wells. God. That's deep lore for the editors. I'm not removing this from my raw cut. I hope you enjoy this, Dr. White, or Vindicare, or Elendil, or anyone who is listening to this, or me.
Yes, we definitely enjoyed it.
They added to the episode, of course.
We enjoyed that, He-Man.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Camarilla strut.
From Carl Alphabusa, Speaker D. Playing Vampire the
Oh,
Masquerade
this is from
Bloodlines.
Vampire the Masquerade
Yeah.
game. That's a good one.
Spill this ragu.
I guess we're watching gameplay now, Alex.
All of a sudden, let's play.
Alright, Alpha, you know what to do.
You just went to admire me in private.
Shame the sequel's going to suck.
The sequel will not
You
exist.
would just want to
Admire.
admire me in private.
I've suddenly got the urge to walk down that.
Why am I doing that
dark
voice for
and
Dominic?
foreboding alley over
No,
there.
that's intimidation.
Join me?
I did the
No,
same
no, no,
voice,
Wool.
essentially.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Square Enix
Oh.
inspired a better fancaster Keith David in the form of Trigon the Terrible based on his Chaos performance. She and Keith David ended up playing a wrestling robot.
You're using Dom. There you go.
Evil coded. It looks like a fucking new metal band.
Good luck
Text.
finding a bidet around here.
What?
Bidet?
Why would we need to find a bidet around here?
Go to the corner and face the wall.
The taxpayers are certainly.
It was just a random homeless guy standing in the corner.
The gang. The gang. The coterie.
Jesus, what the fuck is happening?
There is attempting to feed on this man, I think.
Alright, that's good.
There we go.
There we go. Finally did it.
Alright, now sire them.
It was Atlas in
failed
season
to
2
see
of
how
Teen
this
Titans
will
Only
work.
Human.
What you
Yeah.
All right, more Kevin.
This whole consulting detective thing. Hiding in plain sight will only work till we run into a
And
ghoul
he's just
that
turning
isn't
into
you.
Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, seeing Kevin in casual gear is so fucking weird. It doesn't look right. It looks off.
There's only
Yeah.
one ghoul here besides me. If all they hear of you is a fake name and the chief's own word, they're not gonna fuss.
Detective Sergeant Chopin!
What the fuck?
Regarding those robberies on the corner of Sproston and Dapplemere! Where are they?
Working on it, Chief. I had to fill some witness depositions with the help of consultant Wells here.
Yes, we're working on it. Now go away.
All right, Chapman, you're off the hook.
Notice how you use dominate.
Excessively handsome consultant. Get to it. And Mr. Wells,
Eh?
keep up the good work, lad.
Yeah, those two are absolutely brainwashed.
Jesus
Those-
fucking Christ.
Unhinged as fuck.
Your presence alone is gonna have a negative impact on my performance review, Herbie.
Yes, suffer.
That's fucking funny. Okay, so before we start the next part, I need to make sure it just doesn't go to the end of the video and spoils everything. Alex, close your eyes and shut your ears.
La 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 la. Not listening, not listening.
I'm glad I did that. Okay, I fixed it. It did go to like the big spoiler part of the video. I
Oh,
did
that
fix
would've
it.
Fucking sucked, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm glad I checked this before starting because I noticed like the bar when I was first testing this out was like near the end of the video and it went to like the reveal of the fucking who, and I'm like, I can't let this happen to Alex. So I had to make sure you were eyes closed and ears shut when I fixed that. All right, let's do this. Don't take me for a ghoul. Alex,
Yeah?
there's a ghoul among us.
Boom, 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 boom.
Among us. Among us. There's a murder while I am away getting meat burger with Dad. Hang on. I want to read that. I just saw the last bit. Just be aware that this is HTP canon, not necessarily any official canon. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
They're vampires. Kindred.
Was there any fan casting for Rachel Roth in my head, or do you think my idea was too good? It was pretty good.
I don't feel like following their tenets after being banned. You call him
I mean, if I-
artist. The real reason he's banned is because he happened to be so tightly wrapped in with me.
Vampire lore is
Yeah.
tricky. More than any other supernatural creature, vampires despise being unveiled. Vampires have many agents. Ghouls, they call them. This is why we hunters are responsible for the vampire threat, to ensure these parasites become the forgotten myths they pretend to be. Kevin, honestly, I can't bring
myself to kill you. Why not join my crusade?
Your crusade?
You shall be my companion.
Suppose I could tell you a secret that the Regent would not want hunters to know.
I got some rather tasty information out of that Kevin guy. I have ghouls in several organizations, and as Kevin listed them off by name...
In case you're wondering, I'd have cast Laura Landa as Raven, and I Hillis as Angela Aurelian. Okay.
And exile. Did you not cop onto? Chancellor, we have important information obtained on our last hunt. You're still hunting?
There is a mole in your chapter house, Occam.
Occam?
How did this even happen? Vatic, looks like he exploded. That's not in the ghoul playbook.
We may not be dealing with a ghoul at all.
Are you ready for the epic conclusion of this mystery?
Yes.
Speak, mate! Speak! Wake up! Speak!
Oh, wow.
Speak!
It was him all along.
Wake up! Speak, mate! Speak!
God, that VHS effect is done amazingly.
Yeah, much better than the VHS effects that were used in Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop bringing that up. That was really fucking bad.
We could do it better. We will do it better on a secret project.
Legitimately, I have access to things that can do it better. Here's the thing. You don't fucking run a VHS filter over a DVD being presented on a flat screen TV.
The right way and a wrong way to do it, maggots.
My fault of your faults. He died under your watch. Now take responsibility.
I was scouring the chapter house of Districtus.
D isn't the imposter.
Damn.
Blind hatreds turned up one positive. You can confirm each other's innocence.
Yep.
Alex, at this point, just stream DMC 1, 3, 4, and 5. You left out 2 good games there.
But until Fatigue is avenged.
Sound of
choking down a blood feud.
Truce.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about.
You know it's bad when those two are now essentially agreeing on the truths.
Yep. Fun fact, there's actually a definitive... There's actually a mod for Devil May Cry 2. Excuse me. That fixes some of the balance issues.
Notice how his eyes are fucked up like we saw before.
Yes, yes.
Still spinning.
Yeah, I think he was the... I call it here. He was the one.
You live, but